Hello, beautiful. I want to tell you a story about manifestation that I think is an interesting and eye-opening analogy just about how it works for us. Okay, it is always in motion. It's part of the physics of our reality. Manifestation is happening all the time for us, just like gravity is everywhere around us. It's part of our physics. We don't question it. We're constantly manifesting our experiences, okay, consciously or unconsciously. Figuring it out, because it's a new subject for many of us, is also a journey and a process, because yes, you pick up bits and pieces from other people, but there's a lot of things to take into consideration. And I think that ultimately it is, there are unique nuances and elements to take into account that are unique to you. All right, so it's slightly different for everyone. What works for one may not work for the other, for a number of reasons. But this story, I thought it was quite interesting and something that most people can understand and resonate with on some level. And it was a story told by Abraham Hicks. So I'm just secondhand telling the story. Go and look for that video and hear it from Abraham Hicks. It's going to be way better than what I'm telling you anyway. But this is the story. So it's about this man, this young man who grew up like we all do, most of us get to do, um, in a household, a regular household with parents who just did the best they could. They didn't have anything particularly special. But he grew up in a fairly normal household, wasn't abused or anything. Thought that his parent, he wanted more out of life. Thought his life was basic, other kids had more, but his life was also okay. Grew up to not have some of the opportunities that other people have. So being able to go and get an education, perhaps for whatever reason, he got a house from the government, right? So he got council housing, moved into his council housing, and the house was pretty standard. And his intention was not to always be in this house, but it was a good start. But because it was council housing, it was government housing, it was nice, it was secure, it was all the amenities were there, but it wasn't designed specifically for him. So the bathroom was standard, the kitchen was as he found it, the flooring was as he found it, and he resented it a little bit. Like after a couple of years, he was still in the same house. You know, he hadn't moved into buying a property of his own that he could design and do the interior decor in the way that he specifically would like. And he grew a bit resentful. He got bored with life. He wanted different things. He wished he had a different bathroom, and he wished he had a different home, and he wished that he could have different things, and that he developed contempt. Okay, which happens when we constantly look at what we have through the lens of I wish I had more, you know? And then he grew frustrated with his lot in life because he couldn't afford to go and buy a property of his own, to then design it, to, get an architect and get an interior design and all of that. So contempt and resentment began to brew within him. And then one day, his geyser burst, along with some piping, and his entire floor was flooded. So his bathroom, his kitchen, because the bathroom and the kitchen was sort of next to one another, and the entire floor had been damaged. And the council came in to fix it for him because there was a council insurance. This meant that he had to go and live in another place. So he was temporarily put into another property, and they were fixing up his apartment, and he felt really put out because it's not his home, and he had to move stuff, and it's so unsettling. And why did this happen to him? It's so annoying. And he asked how long the renovations would take place, because now he was going to get the bathroom he wants. They asked him, he could give his input with regards to certain fittings and the new flooring that will be put in. So he got his desire. He was getting a makeover in his apartment. And he asked them how long it would take, and they said approximately 2 months, and 2 months became 8 months. And then that became the bane of his existence. That was the thing he was complaining about all the time. And he was asking, when are the renovations going to be done? Because I've been so put out, and it's so inconvenient. And why is this happening to me? And then eventually got back into his apartment, and then there was something else that had happened. And so when he asked, why did this happen? Abraham Hicks could retrace where it all started, right? So he got what he wanted, in essence. He got the renovation that he's been asking for in the only way that he could let it in, because his belief system would not allow that he could go and buy a property or have that. He was looking at his salary, his income, what he could afford, and that was the best way that the universe could give him what he wanted, through the burst pipe. But instead of seeing it as the opportunity for a bit of an adventure and to move and be in a different space, he was so much in the habit of looking at how he's being inconvenienced and how agitated and frustrating it is, that 2 months then became 8 months. And then that was the reason why he's frustrated and why things are unfair and why everything goes wrong for him, without actually seeing that he got everything that he wanted. So then the person asked Abraham, but then why did it have to happen with all those complications? And Abraham Hicks said, because he wasn't calibrated to the ease of things, to seeing that everything's happening for him. He was so calibrated to frustration and contempt that what he manifested, even when the universe was giving him something, it had to come in on that frequency, right? It could only manifest through his experience, his perception, his lens of contempt and frustration. And that is how it works for us. That's really what's happening for us, is that what you practice, your perception, your beliefs, who you believe you are, how you see your world and everything that is happening, either if you see it's happening to you or if it's happening for you, your perspective, your perception, your perspective is everything. And we are constantly manifesting everything that we want anyway. It's like your relationship. You're going to get the relationship, but if you're giving a lot of focus to the fact that there's a strong possibility that the next relationship you're in, you're going to be cheated on because you believe all men cheat and that's your greatest fear, the universe, you cannot possibly manifest a relationship that offers you the opposite to that. So you'll get the relationship, which is what you're asking for, but it's got to come in on your current frequency. This is why shadow work is so important, because manifestation is not just about, thinking incredible thoughts and things come to you. It's not about having the boat. It's not about having the house. It's not about having the relationship. It's about being happy. And you can't get to happiness from an unhappy journey. You cannot be happy if you are still dictated by insecurities, limiting beliefs, fear, irrational thoughts. You see, how you see your reality is everything. So I thought I wanted to share that story with you guys. And like I said, go and check out Abraham Hicks if it's something that interests you. But have a good day. Everything you want is always making its way to you, but you're the creator of your reality and you have free will. You get to choose your vibration. I can't control your vibration. The universe can't control your vibration. God can't control your frequency. You dictate your frequency based on beliefs, perspective, perceptions, and how you treat yourself, the energy that you embody, the energy that you hold active. It is you, it's your vibe. No one's got control of that. Only you do.